But look, guys, look, all the information is there. All of it is there. And the harder it is, the longer. What is up, people of the Forest? Wait, I can't even see if I'm in frame. I think I'm in frame. What is up, people of the Forest? Today we're gonna do a review of last week. Pretty classic setups. It was a good setup. Right now I'm gonna go get some breakfast though. One of my favorite spots, get some French toast. Then we're gonna come back. It is Sunday, so I do lives every Sunday, creating my levels. So I'm gonna do that here in a bit. So I'll film myself doing today's levels live. Of course, you can just join the Discord, join the Discord. All that is in there. If you're a new trader, right? One of the things you notice on my channel is it's not super crazy. I don't talk about making large sums of money. It's pretty technical. Right? Trading is not magic, guys. It's a lot of my cat destroying my stuff, but honestly, there's a lot of heads down work and grind, and you really got to like it. I love trading, right? I'm lucky. Like, you ask me if I like trading, like I thoroughly enjoy being at my desk, watching the charts, doing the math, figuring out gamma, all this fun stuff, right? I enjoy it, so I don't mind sitting and doing that, right? But trading requires a lot of time input. I think this isn't the one big mistake, but a mistake that a lot of new traders make when they talk to me is everyone's always looking for a shortcut, right? People come and they want the call outs, right? But even with call outs, like when I say I'm getting in the trade, right? Getting in a trade is only part of what makes a trade work. Like position size, your exit matter, right? If I get in a trade and I'm out in 47 seconds and you're out in a minute and 15 seconds, I might be up 3 points, right? And you might be down a point. So there's so much to trading. My goal with my channel and my Discord is to teach you my thought process and the framework for approaching the market so that you could trade for yourself. And that when I do a call out, you understand why I'm in the trade, right? Obviously you can ask me, but if you don't understand why I'm in a trade and I do a call out, you should not be in that trade, right? I'm just straight up, because you might lose money, right? Because this is not, technically financial advice. That's your own fault. It's your money. I'm trading my money, right? And sometimes I do call outs and I'm wrong as well, right? So anyways, just want to get those quick thoughts out there. But yeah, I would love to have you in the Discord. It's growing bigly. I have a lot of one-on-one videos in the backlog. Part of what I'm gonna do today is create a ton of thumbnails, so I'm gonna work on that. But I'm super duper excited for this year in general. Things have been going well. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get some breakfast, then ping everybody in Discord for this live, and we will get into it. Let's do it. Alrighty, get some of this stuff out the way. Got stuff all over the place. What is up, guys? We are getting into it. Awesome. So on my live stream, Titus, you can't just whine all the time, bro, okay? He just has to be a part of every video. There he is. Are you happy now? Okay. So on the live stream, I talked about trading on the 1 minute chart. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that, guys. A lot of my videos talk about the 15-minute chart and its setups. I do think that the 1 minute chart presents an amazing amount of opportunity if you chart that time interval. Now, here's the thing with shorter time intervals versus longer time intervals. When something presents itself on the larger time frames, right, we can trust it more. But I do see quite a bit of technical setups on the 1 minute chart. So we're gonna walk through one of my favorite shapes, which actually shows up on every time frame on ES, which is kind of this oval shape. So you'll see this in the overview or the recording from this Sunday, but this is something that shows up all the time. So I actually have it pulled up on the screen right now. Bring out my brush tool, and here's what I mean by this oval pattern. Now, if we actually go back and do a replay of this time frame on the 1 minute, let's see what this looks like. So on the 1 minute time frame, I was trading this on NinjaTrader. If you're not familiar with NinjaTrader, it is what is used for Apex, right? So I'm a funded trader on Apex. Did a video when I first started that. I've been doing that, working my way up to 20 accounts now. I have 14 accounts, which I've been trading for a while. And I've been messing around with my strategy on account size and things like that. So, but yeah, point is, NinjaTrader, I always have on the 1 minute. I'll have a few different charts of ES on the 15 minute, all the way up to the 4 hour, 7 minute, all these different time frames, right? But we're on the 1 minute, and let's go ahead and let's just step forward through some bars. And I'm gonna do this slowly so we can kind of see what this looks like as it's forming, right? Obviously, and you can consider this a form of back testing, but when you look at patterns in the past, it's pretty obvious once the whole shape is there. But I want to be able to project some rays before this is, fully complete. So we essentially have this shape right here that's forming. I'll expand this quite a bit, and here's what we see. So there's a few things that I'm immediately noticing. One is that we have this shape down here on the bottom side. So I could just trade rejections on this bottom shape here. The other thing that I see is that we do have, there's actually maybe a few lines I could draw here. So there's kind of this intersection here that I could draw, this ray kind of coming up through here. And I might want to bring this around like this. There's also this level that's already here. There was also, if I bring in the volume profile, the POC at this moment in time, I believe is close to this price, and it's just not gonna load. So no, because we don't get to see that. But there's a lot of confluence right around this price, right? This 163 level. So we'll go ahead and step this through some more. We see that we put in here, we're about to reach the top of this range, right? So that's a signal right there. We're gonna reach the top of this range. So eyes are open here, right? My eyes are open, right at the top, right? There's also this structure here, right? So there's a ton of confluence at this price. We'll keep stepping. We put in another semi-green candle, and now we're coming down. So right around here, right, we have these equal highs. I went short. So I went short here with the expectation that we're actually gonna go to the bottom of this range. And the reason we did that is really just through a lot of experience, right? So we put some congestion here, we hit the top, came back down, put some congestion here with the top, right? I see this congestion, right, we did here, but we still need to expand. We're very unlikely to congest again at the same price. So I figured we're gonna come all the way back down to the bottom of the range. Let's see what happens. Step, step, step. Holy moly, look at that. I mean, perfect touch of the bottom of this range. So that's what I talk about being a technical trader. Now, obviously, I knew what the shape looked like before I started doing this, but this is what it looked like in real time when I was trading it, right? You just have to trust. You just have to trust this bottom range. And you can see here, it's not perfect, right? So we wicked through here, right? We wicked through here, we wicked through here, right? There's all these different places where we wicked through. But the point is, you just trust this shape. And there's also this little gap right here, right? There's this little gap right here where it's not perfect, but it's still a really good setup. And then I could go long here, right? So I touch here, you exit, right? This is a 12 points, you know, there's a good 7 or 8 points you could write in there easily, make as much money, you know, depending on your position size. We'll get rid of this and let's see what happens. Let's see where we go. We chop to the bottom, we hit the support here. So at this point, I noticed that we're breaking, we failed to hit to the top of the range and we hit this middle area here. So I'm gonna draw a line. Well, first let's do a fib. Let's actually do a fib and see where we're at here. So this area where we rejected is right around the 0.6 fib here. I'll put array to option J, give me array. So now I expect us to range within the bottom side of this shape. So we have this range here. I can also see that we're starting to put in possibly another ray right here, right? So let's see what happens. Broke through, we hit that first ray, chopped, 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 came back down to the bottom of this range here. So it's not perfect. And the point is, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? None of these have to be perfect. The point is that I project far enough to get a thesis that I can trade off of. So right here, we saw this touch, we came down. I could go long again here off the bottom side, right? And I have an expectation of coming back to this level because we failed to come back to the top of the range. So probably the last trade I would take on the setup is going long to here. That's the last trade I would take. After that, a bunch of uncertainty happens. We break to the loud side. Because we pivot here, this is a really weird pivot. I'm done with this technical setup. And that's just what I see, right? Those are the trades that I took. You know, if you project these rates earlier, you could have went, you know, short here, long here, short here, long here, short here. You know, could have got way more trades out of it. But that's something you could do on the 1 minute. The other shape that we get is right here. So we'll do this, we'll do array, and we kind of have this technical setup here. Now, here's something really beautiful about these wicks. If you're really, really patient, I mean, this is dang near perfect on the wicks. The wicks are gonna be quick though, right? So you have to enter your orders ahead of time. You can't market buy. This is the 1 minute chart, right? You cannot market buy, chase this. If you chase this, you give up, you know, this is a whole 1.75 points. And if you're scalping, 1.75 points is your entire trade. That's your entire trade, right? You take 4 or 5 ES for 1.75 points, it's a couple $100. So you don't wanna miss that. You don't wanna chase this. What you wanna do is you wanna have a limit buy down here at 41.50.25. And then when your limit buy is hit, you ride it to the top of the range, right? You get 6 bars. You know, if I'm trading 5 ES, that's over $1,000. So there's a ton of opportunity here. Scalping. When people talk about scalping, this is just price action. I haven't even talked about volume in here, right? When all these trades, I'm always looking at volume. I'm looking for injections of volume and all of that while I'm doing this. These are all just technical setups on the 1 minute, and that's what I wanted to talk about here. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm actually going to stop recording here, is looking for edge. Always looking for edge. One of the problems that I see a lot of new traders have is they want to be taught everything. And I get you're joining my Discord because you want my help. I'm here to help you guys. I am here to help you guys. Most of the stuff that I've learned though, it's been me proactively looking for it. And you really need to have a mindset shift that you are going to attack this on your own, right? So there needs to be a mix of using all the resources, right? If there's a resource that I provided or given to you and you haven't checked it out and you ask me for help, I'm not going to want to help you because it's just frustrating for me with the amount of time that I've put in to go out of my way and help people who don't do the bare minimum. The flip side of that is beyond that, go and find other things, right? There's so much infinite information out there. Bring it to the Discord, bring it to our community, and we could talk about it, right? I can iterate on it. I've probably heard about it, right? I've heard about most things. I've done a lot of things. The things that I present now isn't because I haven't heard of other things, just that this is a system that I like. But I'm always open to changing it, right? Even just in the most recent months, working with other people, I've incorporated other elements into my system or brought them back in again, switching up my styles. The markets change as well, right? The market is an ever-shifting beast, so you can't always just stick to one specific trading style, right? You have to switch things up every once in a while if you want to be a profitable trader, which I know you do, right? We all want to be profitable traders. So my point is always be looking for edge. There's a little free edge for you. 7-minute chart. I use a 7-minute chart. I was kind of keeping it close to the chest. I'll put it out there. It's whatever. Look at the 7-minute chart. I think the technicals there are great. There's great setups there. A lot of the trades that I take, I look for, confluence between the 7-minute and the 15. Why 7-minute? I don't know. It just works. It's just an edge that I found. And you should always be looking for edge. Find edge. Stop just copying and pasting. Copying and pasting is great. You should emulate stuff that works. Add to it. Look for edge. Figure out things that work. Back test it. Forward test it. Sideways test it. There's no such thing as sideways testing. But look, guys, look. All the information is there. All of it is there, right? And the harder it is, I was doing some stuff with like options data a while ago and recently, and I have some bots that I wrote. And if it takes you a while to like compile the numbers and do all of that, that is edge, right? The more difficult it is for you to come up with some final result based off of some like inputs, that is edge in itself, because a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people will be like, oh, I can't do that, right? They just give up before they even start. By doing that in itself, you have more information, and more information that you have, even though there's some big algos and firms, you have to realize that these big firms and all that, they're powerful, but they're not perfect, right? I've worked at enough big organizations with engineers and stuff like that to know that they trust their systems almost too blindly. Their systems work until they don't. There have been enough market collapses for us to know that these funds, while they can move the markets, there is always a breaking point, right? So don't be afraid to compete at any level, and the more edge that you can find, the better. Check out the 1-minute chart. Don't go crazy, but definitely check it out. Try it, sim trade it, try scalping. I think it could be another way to add to your portfolio. Obviously, still do think that the 15-minute, taking trades there, catching a 20-point move with, 4 or 5 ES is going to do way more for your P&L than the small scalps. But the small scalps, if you get good at it, like playing like a video game, you can make a lot of money as well. In any case, that is it for this video, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. My name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. You should too. I will see you in the next one. Peace.